Hey there! I had a convo, that means conversation, with Joost Appelboom, and I said, can you send me some stuff I haven't reviewed before, like new brands you're excited about, that sort of stuff. And he said, yes, I have something. And then I got this. Now, fair warning, it's not a fountain pen, it's a ballpoint by Wingback. Wingback, flying with the eagles, Wingback, it's here to write with you. If you catch that reference, leave me a comment. Those are not the original lyrics, but they were close. Okay, so what we have here is the mechanical pen. Very interesting mechanism, twist, and you get a ballpoint. I have reviewed Wingback before. That was their fountain pen. It's a pocket pen. I have a titanium model. Number. Okay, here we go with the Wingback mechanical pen. So Wingback, UK-based company. Pens are manufactured there. You can get this particular pen in different finishes. Brass, which is what I have and I'll show you. Steel, titanium, or black steel. This is aerospace grade metal, so should last you a while. The pen has a knurled grip with a somewhat larger diameter for comfortable holding. I appreciate that because I don't really like super skinny pens. Machine turned, one-handed operation, I'll show you that. And it can take Fisher Space Pen PR4 or Schmidt Megaline 4889 refills. Price, $272. So it's not a cheap pen, but it is, in my mind, really well made. Let's start off with the box. Nice cardboard, can be thrown out entirely, recycle, I really like that. So it has the Wingback logo. It does say made in England, which I do like. And then it has some stuff about their description, about their products. I like it a lot. Box flaps open like this. Then it actually tells you who made your pen. It was Jack. I do like that. It's a nice personal touch. And again, their story with a QR code that you can scan. The pen, of course, fits in the box, and then it just sort of lies in there. Quite nice. Okay, something that is easily missed, and I'm assuming that's why they label it, is there's actually a sleeve that comes with the pen, and it's labeled on the box because it's the same color too, so you would easily miss it, but it is there. Sleeve looks really cool to me. I like the one that came with the fountain pen too. It's a sort of, I think it's a wax material if I remember correctly. It looks really neat, it feels neat. It has a sort of ripstop look on it. I don't know how well you can see that, maybe if I make it catch the light. Delicious design. Useful, because you can put this smaller pen, you can put it in your pocket, but you don't want it to pierce your pocket or do anything. So then you have this. Okay, so let's cover the parts of the pen. It's a ballpoint, it's not a fountain pen. Sometimes there are a couple fewer parts on that. As I said, brass, steel, titanium, black steel. This is the brass. Brass is fairly heavy, so it's a solid feeling pen. Parts on top here, we have the turning knob, which is knurled quite nicely and aggressively knurled. I have the feeling I could sort of exfoliate my skin by just rubbing it along that. So this is not going to get slippery, is what I'm trying to say. Then we have down here, Wingback, clearly labeled, nice engraving. Single-handed operation by turning this knob. Smooth, works really well. Bear in mind, I have to do this at a slightly weird angle because of the camera, but if you do this, so you can actually see what I'm doing, but if you do this in a natural position for your hand, nice and smooth. I really like it. Smooth barrel, smooth cone, and then we have more of that knurling where you hold it. It's not a huge pen, just like their fountain pen. It's smaller, but even with relatively large hands, I find this very comfortable to hold. I have no issues with it, and the brass helps. It's smaller, but it's hefty, so you really feel like you're holding something. I think that is quite nice. I Experimented a bit with it, of course. I first thought it might unscrew the nose cone, but it actually does not. That's a solid piece. You unscrew this pen by taking off that end. All solid bits, right? Like this is serious, and there looks to be some sort of grease on there, which is really nice. You could add some more. This part alone is solid, and I really like that. It also says made in England, which is nice. I mean, and here we have a refill and of course the spring. I'm not a ballpoint guy, so this is their Fisher, the Fisher refill. So that would be, I'm just checking my notes again. I'm not a ballpoint guy. The PR4 refill, which I believe are pressurized, right? Works really well, nice and smooth writing. Put the spring back on, slip the refill into the pen barrel, and then it's really easy. Screw that piece back in and you're ready to go. Really nice, really smooth. And then I made it less smooth by kind of unscrewing it as I was operating it. Works really well. Also doesn't stick out an excessive length. I kind of like that when ballpoints, when they don't have the huge sort of part sticking out. That's kind of it. So let's do some writing, taking into account it is a ballpoint. I can't do some of the tests of flexibility, etc. What do I like and what do I not like about this Wingback mechanical pen? I'll start off with dislikes, and I really only have a single dislike, to be honest. It's not cheap. $272 for a ballpoint is not cheap. However, I would like to qualify that price a little bit. First of all, very comfortable. I find this a very comfortable pen to use. For me, it could be a little bit longer, just given the size of my hands. But having said that, it works well. And if I slip my hand a little bit to the front, my fingers are still on that knurled piece, just the end of it. It's quite comfortable, and I really like it. So that's one. Two, it's made very, very well. This company does excellent stuff. Their tolerances work. It's very pleasant to use. The brass model I like a lot. They come in different materials too, but I like the brass. It's very solid, and it feels like a quality product because of its solidity to me. I like that it comes with a case. Same thing as with the fountain pen. I really like it. Smaller pen, fits in a pocket, but then it's nice to have a case, so you're not poking a hole in your pants pocket, or you accidentally, and then you get ink all over that. Great, I love that. Final thing I really like is the one-handed operation. One-handed operation is useful if you only have one hand available, right? Quickly take it out, use it, one hand, unuse it, one hand, very simple. But I also tend to think of people who have reduced mobility or who may only have one hand. It can be a little finicky if you have pen designs that are almost impossible to operate with one hand. You have ballpoints that are kind of the twist just like this, except the twist happens somewhere down the barrel. It's like half and half, the twisty ends. I hope that makes any sense. That can be hard with a single hand because it's hard to hold it. Whereas this, it couldn't be easier, and then it didn't work. But I mean, it couldn't be easier. See that? Really easy, really fast, and I really like that because I try to think about those kinds of situations, people with specific limitations, or you only have one hand, whatever. I try to think about that too when I do reviews, and I always like when I see something that is very available. Final thing I wanted to say is some ballpoints are really quite skinny. This is by no means the girthiest ballpoint I've ever used, but it's definitely not the skinniest, and I like that it's a little bit beefy. It's a little stocky. It's short, but it's somewhat wider. And I really like that because it's comfortable to me to hold. So, a lot going on for this pen. Even though it is not inexpensive, I cannot say $272 is an inexpensive pen, but I do feel you get quite a lot for it. You certainly get really a really high level of craftsmanship. And that matters, right? This is a pen you buy once, and unless you lose it or give it away, you'll be using it 20, 30, 40 years later, because this ain't going anywhere. It's very, very solidly crafted. So I like it a lot, and I think we should take that into account into price as well. But having said that, it's very simple. It's an expensive pen. There we go. Okay, a very kind thank you to Joost for lending me this pen. I really appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye!